Do I deserve a UFC spot? 100% I do. I'm actually one of the best strikers in Australia, New Zealand region. You name it, I've done it all. 4-time Australian champ, 1-time fucking world champ. Taken numerous fights on short notice. 10 days, 7 days, 5 days, 3 days. I haven't been taken down since 2017. For judo champs, wrestling champs, black belt champs, elite strikers. And I guarantee you there won't be any other fighter that will sit in this chair and say the same fucking things that I'm saying right now.
Bang, welcome back to the #1 podcast in the world. You guys already know what's up. Smash the subscribe button. We're growing like crazy right now. We're the #1 podcast in the world with the best community of people and the best guests in the world. I'm here with none other than the champion of the UAE Warriors, Josh Togo, ladies and gentlemen. Let's fucking go, champ. Let's go. Show them what's good. Show them what's up.
Where do I show it? Here?
That one there. Yeah.
There it is.
That's the thing, bro. Look at that.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Nice little piece of silverware you got there. Hey.
It's a good 25 minutes of work.
25 minutes
25 minutes to get that. And
25 minutes of work that we've seen, but I mean, man, how many hours grinding away at your craft to get to that position?
Yeah. Nah, fuck, put some work in for it. About 8 weeks of work, I think. Yeah, we've got the fight on 8 weeks. About 8 weeks notice, and yeah.
What was that called? Can I see that, by the way?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Shit, man, this is heavy. This has got like weight on it.
It is pretty heavy.
Here's the thumbnail already. Ready?
It felt mad. As soon as we won, we're carrying it everywhere. We went out. We didn't go out, but we went and get something to eat after the fight, and we're carrying it and stuff. And like it was like free taxi ride. We get free food.
You're just walking around Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, and then on the way on the airport and the way back, everyone's like looking and. I think there was a few guys from the airport knew the promotion, like they know because it's UAE, right? So
yeah, of course.
They're like, "Oh, UAE Warriors," and they're looking at the belt. They're like, "Oh, you won the belt and stuff." And yeah, they were excited just as much as I was, and yeah.
Were the people receptive to you coming when you first got there?
So when we first got there, honestly, they're honest. I don't know if it was us or they had an issue with us or if it was the whole promotion with the fighters and stuff. Honestly, we did not feel there was any respect for us.
Really?
Not one bit. And the reason why I say that is because we got there and the whole time we had to do, what do you call them? Yeah, you do the COVID testing and all that stuff, and you had to do the media stuff and all this paperwork filling out, and every time we were going to do all that stuff, there's just like, oh, who are you, or what's your name, or it was like every day, constant, every day. They're like, who are you, what's your name, or and then on top of that, like, we need you here, hurry up, like everything is just like always on demand.
But was this just with customs, or was this the
No, not customs. I'm talking about the show.
Promotion, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the show. Customs all fine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The country, beautiful country. The show, the promotion, there was just no respect from.
I know that you do see a lot of that in football. In football, you definitely do have these like strategies of messing with the opposition in a way. So for example, when Uruguay flies out to Australia, they make sure they get the worst economy seats. They make sure they get the worst hotel. They make sure everything's as delayed as possible. They make it impossible to go to sleep. They'll turn the AC all the way up. Like anything that they can do to mess with their heads. And it's not just Australia that does that. Every country does that. And it's a very like strategic way of just messing with your competition in any way possible, because when the stakes are a title, or when the stakes are a place in the World Cup, or when the stakes are a grand final match, like people go to any lengths to make sure that their team wins. And I don't want to throw accusations or anything like that, but I'm just curious, do you think there was a little bit of foul play going on, or do you think it was just disorganized?
No foul play, no foul play at all. It was not even disorganized. It was just purely the fact that there was just no respect.
Right.
And I don't know if it was for other fighters or anything, but it was just, that's how we felt. And we felt like we just got treated like shit the whole time.
Okay.
And so from what I gathered, from what I've seen, and the whole time when we got there, and we knew this from the start, right? So my opponent, he's from Russia, or he was Azerbaijan, but he was based in Russia, living in Russia, training in Russia, blah, 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 blah. We felt, and I've spoken with my coach, we felt like they were sort of setting this fight up for him to win.
I see.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
From the very beginning. They offered this fight to me. We looked over the fight.
Right? That's his name? Abdullayev?
Tahir Abdullayev.
Abdullayev.
When my coach got the fight, he come to me and goes, "Hey, I got this fight for you." And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this guy's fight record, I'm looking at his history, I'm looking at the weight class and stuff, and I'm like, looking at Suman, I'm like, bro, this cut's like, he's a fucking heavy hitter. I'm like, you think I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get my fucking ass handed to me. He's gonna fucking knock me the fuck out. And then Suman's like, and not just Suman, all the boys in the gym, they're like, nah, trust me. Like, he's got nothing on you. Like, you will literally obliterate this guy. Like, he literally has nothing on you. We're watching the fight, and I'm like, looking at this lad, and I'm like, bro, this guy's got some fucking heavy hands. And Suman's like, nah, look. You guys see, bang, leg kick there, left hand there, 1, 2 there. Like, he was literally saying that. I was watching the fight. So I left the gym, and I told him, I said, send me the fight again. So I started watching the fight that night, and I'm like looking at him. I'm like, you know what? I think the boys are right. I think like I can actually take this guy. So I told Suman the next day. I'm like, you know what? Because Suman, like, he literally wouldn't get me like a fight if he didn't believe I could win. And I knew that he knew I could win. The thing is, I had to know that I could win too. Right? So I told him the next day, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm backing you 100%. Let's fucking take this fight. So we take the fight. We're fucking, training for 8-9 weeks, hard as motherfucker, like just constant grinding. We get there, and now we're in the UAE. The whole time, co-main event, they just, you'd think they know their fighters, the promotion. You would honestly think they would know everyone on that list. And we get to the hotel. Like I said, beautiful country. Stayed in a nice hotel. Looked after, food, everything. And then as soon as we do our COVID testing and all that stuff, they're like, "Oh, who is you? What is your name? Oh, you're supposed to be here 10 minutes ago." Blah blah blah. Like, just kind of always in a rush. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm Josh." And they're like, "Josh who?" I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I'm the only fucking Josh here. Like, there's no other fucking Josh here. I'm like, "Oh, co-main event." They're like, "Oh, okay, tick my name. Go in there." Like, they just had that really sort of arrogance about them. There was just, as I said, no respect, and they really looked down on you. And like we waved it all past ourselves. We didn't care. We'll just, Suman and I will just go, we're gonna fuck these cunts up, and that by the end of the show they're gonna remember our names.
Exactly.
Literally. So yeah, the whole week when fight week, first 2 nights, we didn't even train in the training rooms. We trained in our room, in our hotel room. So we pushed the beds aside, we pushed the desks aside, we opened up the space, and we're just hitting pads in the room.
Why did you decide to do that?
I don't know. I guess it was more of the jet lag thing, because we didn't get there. We didn't really want to go down the training rooms just yet, and it was getting late. We were using the first sort of 2 days as a rest day, but we're like, you know what, just fuck it, let's train. We're training, I think it was around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, so we're sort of training around the time I was expected to fight. We're doing our rounds in the room. Still the same thing, we just weren't really doing the stuff that they wanted us to do, like go down and train in the rooms and all that stuff. We're just doing what we want to do for the first 2 days. Then on the Wednesday, even the fighters, by the way, some of the fighters, they're very arrogant. They were looking at us like looking at us. Didn't even wave, didn't say hello. Like, me and, Suman and I, like, we're fucking most nicest people you ever come across. We'll fucking, we'll say hello just just for purely, greeting each other, because that's what we're like here in Australia. We're always greeting each other.
I have to give the fighters a bit of a pass in the sense that a lot of these guys are probably going through very drastic weight cuts and are probably like physically exhausted, and the mental stress of just going into an organization and going into a promotion this big. I mean, this isn't just your average show on a Friday night in, Hoxton Park. Like, these are legit. I'll kind of cut to a kind of scene of the fight now, but this is like a full-on production. There's tens of thousands of people watching, if not there live. Like, it was a very big deal. So I can imagine for a lot of these fighters, especially if there was a breakout fight, like this is their first time on a card, or they're going for a very important fight in their career, the emotional stress they must have been going under probably led to you getting not the best version of them.
But that's what I was going to say. Like, you don't have to, you do what you do. You cutting weight. I understood all that. I knew all that. But on the Wednesday, we went down and trained in the training rooms. All right. We're holding pads. We're wrestling. We're grappling. We're doing jiu-jitsu and stuff. And we're training amongst everyone. And I kid you not, no word of a lie, almost for the whole 40 minutes we were doing all that, everyone was watching us.
Oh, for real?
The whole fighters were watching us. After that, then they started acknowledging us. They're like, the fighters like, hey, how are you? Like, nodding their heads at us and like coming up to us, talking to us. You know why? Because they realize that there's, something with these guys.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we were better than them. I'm just saying that all I'm trying to say is that the fighters just didn't really respect us.
I think we can comfortably say that you were, bro.
All I'm saying, the fighters didn't respect us because they didn't know who we were.
You could have beat anyone, I guess.
Honestly, like, it was just, I guess that's just how it is. And I know dealing with fighters that are from different countries and stuff like that, there's, I don't know, I don't want to make any accusations, but they're probably used to that kind of arrogance with their own people and all that type of stuff. So look, there was water under the bridge. We got the result, and fucking, as I said, even they all remembered our names by the end of the fucking night. So
exactly. I think that's this is a weird world that you're in right now. This is a weird position to be in. And as a fighter, I can imagine collecting these belts, especially of international status, is so important to them. And you went and you did that and you accomplished that and you set your name in the history books, essentially. And this is still very early on in your career. I know that it doesn't stop here at UAE Warriors. I'm sure there's 5 people lining up to challenge you for this belt right now, whether that's discussed publicly or privately. I'm sure it's going on. And I'm curious to know, like, where is your mindset at? What are you looking to do now that you've become champ, now that you won in such a dominating fashion, and now that you've put Josh Togo and Australian top team on the map?
The only thing I'm pushing for right now is UFC. I feel like I've earned and I deserve a shot on the next UFC card here in Australia, which is in Perth next year in February. I feel like I've done all the hard yards to get to that point. I'm at the top of the division in the lightweight and welterweight division. I even basically set it out all in my Instagram posts that I did the other week, saying how I deserve a shot and everything I've gone through in my whole fight career. I've said this. I've fought at lightweight numerous times. I've fought at welterweight, and I'm undefeated at welterweight. I've fought judo wrestlers, jiu-jitsu, brown, black belts, strikers. I've taken so many fights on short notice. Man, I've taken fights on 10 days notice, 7, 5, 3. Literally, I think 3 was the
3 days notice. Yes, I've taken fights
on 3 days notice, and I've made weight for those fights as well. I've had knockout highlight reels. I've always been ready to fight, and I just honestly believe it's my time. I have earned my shot, and I'm going to keep pushing till I get that shot next year in Perth. And I've won 4 Australian titles, and I've won a world title too. And of the world title that I fought a weight class heavier, a weight class I don't normally fight at.
And you made your opponent look like an amateur.
Oh, I hope so.
You really did. Like I was watching the fight back this morning just to kind of refresh my memory, and I think because I knew what the result was going to be, I could pay more attention to your psychology as opposed to his psychology. Because when I was watching it live, I was just like, oh my God, like he just got like, fuck. Like, you know, the emotions are so rampant, you can't really process it and analyze it properly. But this time, because I knew what the result was going to be and it was just at a very level state, the psychology that you went in with and the way that you just made that cage your cage and you gave him no room to express his martial art. You gave him no room to capitalize on you. I mean, his biggest moment was probably a flying knee in the first or second round, and I don't even think that connected. Yeah. If I'm being honest with you, I think you covered that, and it was a thing in the moment. And I have so much admiration for that, and I think UFC Perth is the perfect platform for you to go and show the world the value that we all know that you have.
Yeah, well, like after that fight, and I tell people all the time, it wasn't a hard fight. It was just tough. It was a tough 25 minutes. The guy was a natural welterweight. He was Russian. You know, Russian fighters are some of the most
motherfuckers.
Scary, dangerous, and you just don't know what they're going to come at you with.
Yeah.
He had a lot of his wins were all first round knockouts. I don't know how many... what his streak was, but he was a 13 wins and 1 loss, and the majority of his wins were all first round, second round knockouts. So you could imagine in my mind, I'm thinking like, shit, like I've got to fucking, and I'll be honest with you, the first time, like when I was going into this fight, like my head, I was just thinking, all I got to do is weather the first round. Once I weather the first round, I've got him. Because I watched these fights before and I knew who was going to gas. I was just waiting for the right time. And the time couldn't have happened any better until the end of the first round. And I seen it, I watched it. But leading up to the fight, like I knew I was always going to win. Suma knew I was always going to win. The whole Australian top team knew we were going to win. And when we were over in Abu Dhabi, there was only one coach from another team that believed we were going to win. He actually came up to us on Wednesday. We're after the media day. We're driving on the way back to the hotel, and he's speaking Farsi, and because Suman's Iranian, he could understand. And then Suman points at me and goes, "Oh, they're talking about you." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, what are they saying?" He goes, "Oh, apparently they're talking good things." I'm like, "Okay, that's good." And then he turns us around, the coach, and he taps us and he goes, "Oh, I was just talking about you, and I seen some of your." Because I did my research and I always research all the fighters, and I done some of my research on you, and I can't believe this fight. He goes, "I think you're going to win this fight." He goes, "I've watched your fight. You're very smart. You got a good fight IQ, and your stand up's like really good." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man. Like I appreciate it. Like, you know, at least there's one other person here that believes we're going to win too, right?" And he goes, "I watched this guy, and I've watched you, and I like." They're saying they'll call us underdogs. So I never believed I was an underdog. They will call us underdogs. And he was saying like, as much as you're the big underdog, like he doesn't know what he's in for. And he didn't know what he's in for. It shows in the fight for 25 minutes. He come at me in the first round. And I guess stylistically, I was always going to be better. I mean, and I just picked him apart. That was it.
Watch the fight?
Yeah, let's put it on.
Watch the fight back.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, guys, we need to stop for a second because I want to ask you something. Do you know what the number one regret is for a human being? It's not betting on themselves. It's not taking a chance, and it's not chasing that dream that you often see discussed on this show. And do you know what the number one reason as to why people don't do that? It's because of money. But if there's anything I want you to take away from this podcast, it's that you can go and chase your dreams. You can travel the world. You can start the next Fortune 500 company. That's why I'm super excited to announce that I've partnered with Monarch Financial Group. Monarch Financial Group are a team of mortgage brokers who are absolutely committed to making sure you get access to the money that you need and the education that you need. They've got teams of mortgage brokers with over 10 years of industry experience, and that experience goes towards fighting tooth and nail to make sure that you get the best deal possible. So it's time to stop procrastinating on that dream. It's time to go to monarchfinancialgroup.com.au. Make sure to mention Luca's podcast in the process. Right now we are at 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Bang. Okay, talk to me, Josh.
Look,
Round one.
Yeah, the first round, it was just weather the storm. I just knew what he was going to come with. I knew he was always going to apply that forward pressure. All I had to do was weather the storm. If I just added like my head movement, my feints, even snap my jab and look for the left hand, then I knew that he'll finally back off. I did, however, mention to Suman, I said I want to smash his leg for the first round and two. I did say that. I wanted to pick his leg for the first 2 rounds because I knew if I did that, I would slow him down. So every time I seen an opening for the leg, I'd just like kick. Set it up, not like just kick out of just doing it, but like looking to kick. And every time like he was coming too close or he was too far forward and he didn't see the kick, that was the perfect time to throw it.
Yeah, there were various points without the fight, but I think we even saw it towards the end of the first round where his front right leg, swollen up so badly and viciously to points where he would like turn around in the fight and go to the ref like and the ref was like, what do you want? Like,
he was looking for an excuse to slow down the fight or just to get like his little breather or get a little break.
Yeah.
At the end of the first round, his whole team, they threw a bucket of ice on the canvas.
You're kidding.
Yeah. And Suman's told me, he goes, they just threw ice on the ground. You know what that means? But at the same time, we're a bit shitty because they shouldn't have done that.
Of course not.
But at the same time, I looked at it I was being optimistic about it, and I was thinking, you know what, this is perfect time. He's showing me his signs that he's tired, he's gassed, and he's using this time to get his energy back.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just thinking positive about it and just waiting for the ref to hurry up and get the second round going. And yeah.
Yeah, that's such a dirty, like, old boxing trick.
100%.
Like, just fuck up the canvas for a bit so you can get that extra minute.
Yeah, we're making sure that he didn't do it again for the second and third rounds and stuff.
And I think the ref did a good job, actually, of, like, going over to the corner and, like, really giving them a piece of his mind.
Yeah, honestly, even at the end of this first round, like, he shoots or he comes in the knee and he gets my back, I'm up against the cage. And then when we're up against the cage, I was defending. And I don't know if he's watched my fights, but I feel like he must have because he knew that I had good takedown defense. So for some reason, he just sort of lets go. And I'm thinking, okay, why did he let go? And he was back.
There it is. That's the first one.
Nah,
so he's claiming
that wasn't even
blow.
that. I didn't even kick him. That was a leg kick. That was a proper leg kick.
Yeah, he was claiming low blow there.
Nah.
On an inside leg
The only
kick.
thing I did was an eye poke, and I think that was the third round.
I watched that eye poke and I didn't think it.
Nah, it was an eye poke. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't the left hand, it was the jab. Like the up, sort of my left lead hand, my right hand come out, and then I come over the
you
left.
might have just grazed him with your fingernail. It wasn't like you stabbed your finger into there. He milked that for sure.
Yeah, and when he backed away at the end of the first round, I was like, you know what? He's tired. He's gassed.
Yeah, there we start to see that leg kick really play into effect. He's
you can see
trying to play it cool, but the movement's becoming a lot more static and he's becoming a lot more cautious of protecting that front leg. You can see even just now in the first round, it's definitely becoming red. And what I really liked about this fight that you did, and I mean, of all the fighters I know, I think you're the most technically sound. I think you've always been very precise with your timing. You have a very good habit of peppering shots and then picking specific ones that you want to make clinical. And so what I really liked from this fight that we saw from you was that you just touch him 1-2-1 and then smack the leg kick, and then 1-2-1 smack the leg kick, and then 1-1-2 smack the leg kick.
That's all I had to do. I was told myself is just go back to fundamentals, do the basics, and it'll all roll together.
It really did. Was that the game plan going into it?
See him backing up?
Yeah.
That's when I
He
knew.
just walked away.
Straight away, I knew I had him. I knew straight away he was tired. He was gassed.
I've never seen that in a fight. I've never seen someone just dead ass walk away from you, back turned.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like I said, he let go of me up against the cage. And after he let go and he was backing away, I'm like, this guy's gassed. And I'm just looking at him. That's why I put my arms out. I was like, come on, motherfucker. Keep going.
Did he hit you with anything that caught you by surprise?
Nah.
I
think I just slipped. I know the last round, he did catch me in the last minute. Yeah, he was coming because he knew he was down and he had to try and get the finish, all that. But yeah, I don't think in the first round he caught me with anything really. I think I just sort of stumbled on my own feet.
Yeah. So you go into this first round feeling confident, like feeling 100%.
Yeah,
This
I
is
felt
my
good
fight.
the whole
fight. There was
I
no
felt good.
nerves. There was no.
Nah, the only thing, yeah, of course, no. Like I'm human. Everyone gets nervous. All right, so we're humans. We're human being. And it's we're full of emotions. You have to be nervous.
Yeah.
But as long as I could control my nerves and make sure I get the best version of myself at the same time, own the space. And I just really had to make myself do that. Do I have something on my nose?
No, that's me. Sorry, bro.
I thought you were pointing at me like there's something there.
I've got hay fever, man. It's the worst.
Yeah, so like I just wanted to really own the space and just do what I had to do. Get the job done. That was it. 25 minutes later and executed it really well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely so.
See, look, they're slowing down. The ref straight away. As soon as like they dropped ice on the canvas, make sure they clean it up, blah, blah, blah. You think about it, like, see him looking and getting angry. See, straight in my head, straight away. Like I wasn't buying it. I knew straight away he was frustrated.
Yeah.
And that's when I knew I had him. But at the same time, I just had to just stick to my game plan. Don't let anything of him get to me.
Hamir, right? Tahir. Apologies, Tahir. Tahir is a very aggressive, passionate, angry fighter. He really commits to his shots. He looks for big knockout power hits. Okay, just for me in the future, we are at 4 minutes and 50 seconds now. He is a very explosive, short-range fighter, not too distant away from a Mike Tyson style, you would say, where he'd just go in and look for clinical first or second round finishes. And so I think credit to your strategy in coming into this fight, playing this long game, and it helps that you're southpaw and playing this very elongated, technical, safe game where every time you try and come in with you'd either hit him with a jab or a leg kick and punish him. Oh, that was a nice body kick there.
Yeah, he did a very good side kick to the body.
He did.
So at the start of this fight, when I seen him around the hotel and stuff, I was very observant. And I wanted to see what he was like as a person. He was a few inches smaller, but I was looking at his body type. This guy was short and had like a stocky body frame, but his arms and his legs were surprisingly long.
Right.
And his hands and feet were fucking huge. And that's what I was saying. Like I knew, I was like, bro, this guy's got the body frame of like a Mike Tyson, but with the long arms and the long legs and stuff. And the big hands just make it even better, like better for him.
Yeah.
So like I said, all I had to do, I was like, you know what? He's going to gas. I just got to weather the storm for the first round and a half, and then I can just start taking it away, pick my shots. Look, all he had was a left hook, right hook, left hook, right hook. He had nothing else, really. Nothing to answer. Unless he grabs you, he's looking for knees, probably elbows and stuff like that. But, I just played my game. Just sat on the outside, picked the shots, make him come to me and then, make him answer for it.
Yeah. I found this part of the round pretty interesting in that he was...
He's still looking. Excuses. I need a break. I'm a weak pussy. I need fucking rest. I need air. Fuck me dead, mate. It's a fight. Stop fucking looking for a way out. You want a way out? Fucking walk out the cage.
What was the claim there?
I don't know. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just looking for some fucking airtime because he knew he was gassed and he knew he was I had him because he was frustrated from the fight. And this was only fucking a minute and a half, 1.5 rounds in.
Yeah, of a 5-round, 5-minute fight. This is not.
And you see him, I think it was about another 40 seconds from here. I kick him like 1 or 2 more times and he starts backing away.
Yeah.
He starts, wincing. His leg must have been very painful. And I've seen him the next day in the hotel and he was sitting there like hobbling and around.
Was he on a wheelchair? Yeah. Was he just rolling through?
Nah. He was, it would have been funny if he was, but. But I think that's why he kept throwing that side kick because his leg was just getting brutalized.
I did hear in the corner that I think in the third round specifically, Suman was saying to you, as soon as the bell goes, take center cage, take center cage, take center cage. Like that's a very kind of important thing that he kept pushing onto you. And I did notice here that particularly in round 2, he was kind of cutting off angles for you. He was trying to corner you up against the cage.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, he look, it wasn't so much him trying to cut me off and all that stuff. It was more of him just because I think that's who he was as a fighter. He's just more not just coming forward, more the aggressor. I think that's his fighting style by nature. But I just knew any point I can get when he backs away, I knew I had him. Like I could still pick him from the outside, even if my back's on the cage, even if he comes forward, like you see there.
Yeah,
it's just pick. I could just pick. That's fine. He was just looking for a way to back me up so he can throw his left hook, right hook.
Well, playing on the outside actually plays to your strength because you are a southpaw, and so playing on that outside toe opens up so many more angles for you to be creative. That's one of the more interesting aspects of having an orthodox southpaw fight is the advantages mirror each other.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like I knew that my style, and I said it before this fight even happened, like going into this fight, a few weeks out and stuff, I knew, and I said it to a few people. They're like, oh, hey, you think you're going to go and stuff? And I'm like, I'm going to win. Stylistically, like my style, he's going to have nothing to answer for. Oh, 1, 2, bang, right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
Like I said, look, he's just throwing a left hook, right hook. He I don't want to say it, but I have to be realistic. He had no fight IQ. And because if he did, he would have changed up his whole game plan after the second round.
Yeah.
He would have started making a lot of changes to what he can do to win. But he didn't do anything changes. So in my head, I'm thinking this guy is he's just a brawler. He's just looking to get that one shot knockout. He had no fight IQ. It's the best way you can say it.
You tagged him with the left hook there twice in a row at the end of that second round.
Yeah.
With the same combination. You did it once and then you did it once again. Like he didn't learn from the first mistake. There you go. Like he's got a nice power shot on him. He'll have a couple moments. Oof, straight down the... Oh, son.
Good left hand. He had a little... I think the next day, I'm looking at him the next day too in the lobby and he had a little like Band-Aid across his nose. Like, one of those...
Yeah.
Just a Band-Aid. I'm like, you're better off just fucking leaving that off. It shows you how fucking weak you are. You know what I mean? Who puts a little Band-Aid over their nose? Like, even if it's a little scratch and stuff. I don't know, is there a scratch on my nose? That's literally what he had on his fucking nose and he had a Band-Aid over it. I'm like, come on, mate. Like, fuck, I'll wake up to yourself.
Look, if I just...
You're a fucking fighter or you're a little bitch, man?
Oh, listen, if I had fought Josh Togo in his prime... I would have more than just a Band-Aid on me. So.
He must add some like bruises or welts around his eyes because he had sunnies on and he wouldn't take them off.
I think I even saw it there in that replay. He looked very swollen around the nose. Like he looked like you landed a lot of shots straight down the middle, which you don't often see in mixed martial arts in general. Getting shots straight down the middle is not easy. All right, we're at 4 minutes and 50 seconds in 3, 2, 1. And we're off with round 3. Okay, so you've definitely got momentum here. You've definitely got the fight going in your favor now. You essentially are free to be as creative and as expressive of yourself as possible. And I found it interesting here that in round 3, we saw a little bit less of the leg kick and you were kind of going more to the outside of the leg.
Yeah, look, I can't really remember back too much to the fight, but I think it was the fact that he kept hopping his leg up. It stopped me from doing the leg kicks.
Right.
I was listening. I rewatched the fight and I was listening to some of the commentary, and there's like, oh, his foot must be sore, his leg must be sore, and this. My leg was fine. It was just it was more of the fact that he kept sort of checking it, and I was like, I can't keep doing this, so I have to sort of throw more hands. Plus, I was seeing his hands start dropping a lot more in the fight too. By the third, fourth round, like his hands started dropping.
Big left hand.
He wasn't applying that forward pressure as much either. Like he was coming forward, but not like first and second round. So I was like, okay, I can start using my hands now. I can be more free. And then that's what I was doing. I was just sort of using my hands more in the fight, setting up my strikes. As long as I just kept sort of with my head movement, more feints, and then I don't have to throw the kick as much. And I can start, as I said, be more freely. I can start mixing it up.
Yeah.
Have a bit of fun with it. But at the same time, like, don't get me wrong, it's a fight. You're still tired and gassed and stuff like that. Like, as I said, it wasn't a hard fight. It was just a tough fight.
Right. Just more physically demanding on kind of the risk that he poses at any point in time.
Yes.
You just had to stay alert at all.
That's exactly right. With the power this guy possessed, 100%. I couldn't slip up not once. So that's why I was just being very light on my feet. I just had to keep moving. As you can see, I could find every angle I could find and just hit and move off it.
Do you think because you do traditionally fight at lightweight and this bout was at welterweight that you just had that advantage of slicker foot movement?
Probably. I would say so. I also think because of this fight was at welterweight as well, I guess being more alert and being knowing that I could be more vulnerable to a welterweight fight makes me feel like I have to be light. Yeah. I can't give up any opportunity where I can get hit or knock the fuck out.
Did you feel like he was slow in comparison to your typical fighter that you would fight at lightweight?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he was slow. It was just... It's hard to say because he still hit me a few times. He clipped me a few times. So he definitely wasn't slow. I just think that after the first round, he started slowing down.
Yeah.
And I think the leg kicks really took a toll on it as well. But I don't think he was slow. I mean, a guy that's 13-1 with a lot of first and second round knockouts, you can't call him slow.
Nice left hook there. Nice left hook.
Look at him, he's getting angry, frustrated. He knows he's losing. He knows he's down.
He's yelling at you now.
That's even better. Look, don't get caught up in the brawl. If you're watching this, be smart. If someone does that, stick to your game plan.
A lot of feints. Oh, nice. You took the back there.
Took the back. And then after this round, I was like...
This is hilarious. This needs to become a meme. We need this on repeat. Just
No, it would have been better if this is me. It has to be knockout at least 5. But same thing here. I was just playing it smart. You know what? I knew I wasn't going to take his back because he was defending at the time as well, and I knew there was when I got his back. I knew there was a minute to go. I was like, you know what? Just knee the fuck out of his leg
and just hold the position. This is the dominant position. This is what the judges are going to see.
That's right.
You started the round strong. You end the round strong. You just need to hold this.
Yep, that's it. Secure the last minute and you win the round. And I knew I was winning this round too. This was just icing on the cake.
Yeah. So now you're essentially 3 rounds to nil. There might be a bit of sway in the first round because you had a couple flashier moments. But there's no denying that you're winning this fight. Does that change the way you go into round 4 and round 5?
Nothing really changed. I just knew in my head, I knew that he was slowing down and I knew he was getting tired. And I knew he was getting gassed and I knew he was getting frustrated. We get to the 4th round and I was like, fuck, championship rounds. I just got to keep pushing 10 more fucking minutes. That was what's gone in my head. Just 10 more fucking minutes. Yeah, I'm tired, but he's just as tired as I am. And if not, worse. So I was just... told myself, just stick to the game plan. Stay light on your feet. Just keep moving. Don't stand with him because if you stand with him, he's going to want to bang. He knows he's down, right? I know I'm up. If I was to, I have to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Don't stand and bang with him because that's what he wants.
Yeah, he can't win on points at this point. He can't mathematically beat you, so his best chance is getting the knockout or getting the sub. And we can tell by the style of fight and the aggressiveness that he pushes forward with, he's not looking for takedowns. He's looking to knock a couple teeth out.
Yeah, 100%. And I was just listening to my coach. I was just listening to Suman in the corner, and I fucking remember, but he's just like, just keep doing what you're doing. Just stick with the hit with that 1-2. Use your leg kicks, but stay light. Keep moving. And you stick and move. That was basically the game plan from 4th and 5th round onwards.
How important was it for you to have Suman there?
Bro, the best. It was like, for me, it's the best. Like, I wish I could have my whole team there. But having Suman there is the guy, I call him, like, I don't know if he knows it, but I call him an encyclopedia of the MMA world. The guy literally knows anyone in the fight scene. He knows every sort of promotion. He knows fighters' ability. He I don't know. He just knows everything about the fight world. And every time he gives me a fight, I don't sit there and watch videos of the opponents, and I don't watch anything to do with the opponent. You know what I do? I just ask him. I say, okay, what's this guy got? He tells me what he has. Okay, what do I have to work on? This is what you got to work on. That's it. Fight camp, we go to fight. There it is. I don't watch videos of opponents and stuff like that, and I don't care what people say and stuff. All I have to do is listen to what this guy tells me, and all I have to do is trust his instinct and believe in him. And if he has those, then it makes me more confident knowing that I'm going to win in my fights. That's all I need. I just need this guy to just tell me who we're fighting, what his best attributes are, what his weaknesses are, what I got to work on, and that's it. So, yeah.
You just give me the instructions, I'll follow it.
Fucking oath. And that's why he's honestly, him, Ash, the best coaches in the world.
Yeah.
Wouldn't fucking have any other coaches like them two, my fucking 2 coaches. That's it.
Yeah.
And the other boys in the gym as well. I mean, they're my coaches too, but them two, their guidance, their leadership, everything that they know about the fight game, that's all I need to know.
So that's the eye poke incident just there.
See that little scratch in his nose? You actually fucking put a Band-Aid over for it.
So this is the claim of the eye poke, right?
There, look, see? That was an eye poke. See the jab? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was. And I knew it was.
I feel like it's a little bit under. I feel like it's a little bit on the cheek.
Well, fuck it. Yeah, we'll say it then. Let's say it was fucking under. Nah, but yeah, look.
My God, the energy that you're coming within.
Like everyone's like
deep into round 4, and you were still just fainting.
I had to. I couldn't give up or make any slips. I just had to keep moving. See, I was just staying light on my feet. Even when he's backed me out, okay, angle, move out, angle, move out. Try and find a way to control the center, and then I can work off that.
And in his head, he must just be terrified. Like, he would never admit it. But when you're deep into, what are we at, round 4? When you're deep into round 4 and you're up against a guy, you're gassed, your leg is given out completely, and you're up against a guy that is still just peppering shots with unlimited energy that could easily go to round 7, round 8, round 9, no problems at all. There must be a part of your brain that goes, oh shit.
Well, yeah, like I said, this guy had fucking knockout power, and like we were in deep waters now, 4th round going into the 5th round, and I just knew he still had that power that he possessed. I mean, this guy is as powerful as he is in his first round, you know what I mean? So, I couldn't slip up. I just had to keep moving, just stay light. I don't give a fuck if I landed 3 punches in the fucking 4th round. Just stay light on your feet, keep moving around, like finding your angles, you know, stick and move, and then surely the judges will give me fucking the points for the round.
Yeah.
That was it. Like, I just had to stick to the game plan. That was it. The game plan is no different from the fucking first round. Right now, it's basically 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. It's the same fucking game plan right throughout. Just circle off. Look at him, looking at the time. He knew he was down.
Yeah.
He's gassed, taking deep breaths.
Yeah, you definitely see the showmanship come out in him though, like
I said,
screaming at you, the kind of looking at the clock.
Like I said, you're in deep waters, but you just can't make any mistakes here on out. Like you're up for potentially 3 rounds.
Yeah,
I mean, if you got to keep being smart and sticking to your game.
With the Kamaru Usman fight recently, where Kamaru Usman was in a very similar position to that you were at this point in time, in that dominated at least rounds 2, 3, and 4 of that fight. Definitely was the favourable fighter to win in terms of points. And then in the last minute of the last round, makes a poor head movement and gets head kicked in the most devastating fashion possible. And, you know, massive props to Leon Edwards for seeing the opportunity and making the most of it. But he was a minute away from retaining the belt and still being in the position that he's been in for the last 20 fights or whatever it is at this point. And gets knocked out in just the most, like, I'll play the knockout here, but a devastating fashion. So the consequences are always extremely high in these situations, and you have to stay switched on and you have to stay alert, because if you don't, it's coming.
Right, that's the fight game. Anything's possible. I mean, as you was talking about that fight, I mean, you could be a champion minute to go, but down 4 rounds. It's the fight game. Anything is possible. Anything can happen.
Absolutely.
But and that's what I was saying. That in this fight, I just couldn't make any mistakes. I just had to keep pushing, just keep working.
You're doing very well for someone with an amateur record of 1-4.
Don't remind me of that, please. Look at him, fucking find a way out.
Oh God.
Yeah, 4th round's done. I actually went back to the corner and Suma sat me down and I was like, let's fucking go. I said, one more round, I'm about to be a world fucking champ. I literally said that to Suman, and he's sitting there trying to tell me the fucking game plan for the 5th round. I'm like, one more fucking round, I'm about to be a world champ. I knew I was winning.
Yeah.
I knew in my head I was winning. So I was like, getting better and better, but knowing that the confidence is growing going to the 5th round, you know, you can't really slip up either, because as you were talking about before, you might be up 4 rounds, but all it takes is that one punch or fucking one kick, whatever, and that's it, lights out. You just lost the fight. So, yeah, I at the same time, I knew I was winning, but I had to tell myself, be smart about it, stick to the game plan, and secure the victory.
And the most painful part about that is that for the average mixed martial arts consumer, the person that doesn't go in and watch all the fights and breaks them down into detail like we're doing here, they see the 30-second clip of you getting knocked out, and then that's the thing that goes viral and gets 3 million views on TikTok.
Hey, that's the world we live in today.
It really is. So there's that double-edged blade of, if you have a moment, then that's the thing that's going to spread your name out everywhere. But if you're on the receiving end of that clip just gets played over and over 100%. And over again.
Yeah, it's a fascinating world we live in today. But yeah, as you can see in the fight now, he's every time he was just like pointing to the center. You know what I mean, if you're doing that to me, in my head, I'm like, you just want to stand and brawl. You just want to bang. That's it. I mean,
flying kick. That was fucking brilliant.
It's a good little scissor kick. Considering we're 5 rounds in, I'm surprised I fucking threw that 5 rounds in. Left hand.
Still picking shots. Still.
I'm surprised he's a bit more heavy on his lead leg now. I didn't even fucking kick him as much, but surprised he's still moving. Body kick.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was at no point in time that he actually switched to southpaw, because that would have made it really ugly for you.
Going into this fight in this last round too, I'm like, Suman, tell me when there's 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, 1 minute to go, just so I know what the time is like. And we got 3.5 minutes, and Suman's like, 3.5 minutes. I'm like, fuck, I'm still fucking tired. Hurry up. I'm gassed. I'm just thinking about the time. Hurry up. At the same time, I'm thinking about the fight, but in my head, I'm like, fucking hurry up, because I knew I was winning. I knew I was up. I was like, hurry the fuck up, you know? But yeah, that's
nice shot to the chest there. Slips the hook, defends the takedown, jogs backwards just to get some air. You make this look so casual, man.
I had to. I mean, look, it's like chess, or no? How would you say it? Would you say chess? You can't look too vulnerable. I mean, you just have to make sure that. Sorry, not chess. I was looking for a poker. I was looking for poker. It's like poker. You have to keep a poker face. As much as I was tired and as much as I was gassed, I was like, just keep moving. Just stay light on your feet. Every time he was coming forward, just circle off. But like how I was doing there, just circle off, just circle off. I was breathing heavy, but same thing. I didn't want to show I was breathing through my mouth, because if I was taking deep breaths like I'm gassed, he's going to see that. And that's an advantage for him to know that he can come forward and lay some punches on me. So it was like, focus on breathing from my nose, like just being strategic about it.
And similar to how in the first round you got that extra bit of fuel when you saw that your leg kicks were being clinical and being effective, and that forced you not forced you, but that encouraged you in rounds 2 and 3 to expose that and really target the leg. It's very possible that if he didn't show you that sign, you wouldn't have been as motivated to go and confront that front leg.
Yeah, well, 100%. I'm surprised he was like limping and stuff in the first and second rounds. Like he was backing away with it. I mean, if you're a fighter, you can't show those signs, because absolutely, I mean, I'm going to come forward and keep going for you. Yeah. I mean, where's your poker face at? You know, pretend it's not fucking hurting at least.
Yeah.
So that's the same thing in this sense. In this last round, I'm like thinking like, I'm fucking tired, but don't show me I'm tired.
Yeah.
Don't look fatigued. Don't stand there and bang. Keep moving. Just make him look like he's going to be continuously frustrated, and just leave it like that, because the round's almost over and you're winning.
Yeah. And so, at this point, he's probably just thinking, I'm here to get one big right hand straight down the middle, and that's going to be it. Yeah, well,
he gets his little
clip.
Yeah, he gets his little moment. Here. And then, I'll show you. There's a bit up here. I'll show you, and I'll talk about it. Because I've watched this fight a few times, and he starts coming forward. He knows that he has to get the win. He tries to go hard, look for the knockout. Hits him with the knee. I back away because I know I'm winning. Nothing rocked me until he hits me with this other knee up here. I can't remember where it was. It's almost up here. He's coming for it. He knows he's got to get it. Here, bang. My leg stumbled there. But I looked up at the clock at the same time. I'm just checking how much fucking time I got. In my head, I'm like, fucking tie him up. Just grab him. Because if I can grab him, I can slow down the time. That was all I wanted right there. Yeah. I didn't give a fuck if he took me down. As soon as he did that, I grabbed his leg, reversed him, and then I was like, I just had to fucking do everything I can to win, because that's the same thing we're talking about. Don't fucking lose. You're winning the fucking fight. Do everything in your power to win. And that's what was going through my head at that same time.
Back to cuddling bottles here.
Like, fuck. To basically be rocked and stumbled to fucking winning position at the end of the round. That I don't like to fucking toot my own horn, but that goes to show the fucking toughness that I actually fucking endured for 25 minutes. They can't fucking, okay, and this is what I want to say. They can't fucking need me in the head. And you're fucking 5 rounds deep. 24 minutes later, you're tired, you're gassed, you're fatigued. I don't know why, but if that was fucking anyone else, that would probably drop, right? I don't know. I must have a hard head or something, but honestly, like innocent, you got to remember, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're gassed, like, you know, you're at the end of the fight. They cunt threw the fucking hardest knee you could think of, and my leg wobbled, like stanky legged, and I still fucking got up, keep them fighting. I mean, that's just those continuous rounds at the gym, all those fucking Shark Tanks we've been to, all them fucking hard wrestling rounds, the wall rounds, everything you can think of, like just continuously and constantly grinding every fucking day for 8 weeks. I mean, it just showed like fucking, I just can't believe I didn't drop from it. Like Leon Edwards, for example, he threw that kick, right? 5 rounds deep, fucking Usman dropped. Like, I'm not saying didn't train hard for it, but I'm just saying, like, fuck, like, I can't believe I fucking didn't drop after fucking 5 rounds, copying a hit like that and just sort of stanky leg for a second.
Well, that's why you're the champ, man. I mean, I think the majority of people that are put in that position do drop and they do quit. And that's what it is, right? In moments like that, it's a decision. It's a very split nanosecond of decision, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to quit. And
that's right.
You looked over at the clock and you're like, fuck this, we're still going.
I didn't give a fuck if I'm legal. All I was doing, I had that little moment to look up, and I looked at the time, and it said like 40 or something seconds to go, and I'm like, fucking just grab him, tie him up.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck about my leg or anything, or how hard he was hitting me. I was just like, all I wanted to do was tie him up just so the fucking round could fucking end, and that was it.
You know, this might be my most controversial opinion I've given to date. No one cares. It's not the number one podcast. Keep saying we're on a mission. You only got 60 views in 2 days. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Hemp Canned Labs, a proud sponsor of Luca's podcast. These guys have an entire range of CBD oils, gummies, and vapes for all you smokers out there that specifically is designed to provide you with high quality CBD. So whether you're trying to deal with stress, anxiety, muscle recovery, or you just enjoy that relaxation effect that comes with CBD. I use it personally before every podcast, and if you use promo code LUCA, you're going to get 15% off your next purchase.
You name it, I've done it all. 4-time Australian champ, 1-time fucking world champ. Like, I feel like I've earned my shot, and I'm just going to keep pushing till I get it, because there's so much more that I can offer, and I want the whole world to see. Yeah, that's what I want. I fucking know if I'm going to push for it. I'm going to get there. And if it's not fucking Perth, it's going to be the next show after. I'll keep going till I get there.
So, I'm not sure how familiar you are with this show, but we do have a kind of built-in format now where fighters will come on here and call out people, and you know, specific fighters might talk shit, other fighters might, you know, say they're the best in Australia, or they can do whatever I mean, we've had the entire range of fighters at this point. But I think in your case, and I hope that the ATT boys, because I know you're watching this, I hope that the ATT boys do go and kind of help push this video as much as possible. I think it'd be really interesting for you to kind of leave a message to the UFC or to Dana White specifically, saying or pleading your case as to why you deserve to be on this card, and we'll cut that up and turn that into a reel and get that as viral as possible.
Look, all my fights speak volumes, really. Every fighter, all my fights, really. I mean, my last loss, fuck, I shouldn't have lost that fight. I was winning the fucking whole fight. I was literally up every single fucking round. And you know, because of a slippery canvas, fucked my whole fucking fight. And, you know, fucked my game plan, and then I got fucking choked out. But you know what? It is what it is. But technically, I should have fucking won that fight. But in saying that, like, I've fought at lightweight. I've fought at welterweight. I'm undefeated at welterweight. I've fought judo champs, wrestling champs, black belt, brown belt champs, elite strikers. I've fucking taken numerous fights on short notice, 10 days, 7 days, 5 days, 3 days. I've fought in almost every state but Northern Territory. I'm happy to go in someone else's backyard. You know what? If you're a true fighter, come to fucking New South Wales. Come into our backyard and fight. But you know what? You don't never ever hear. You do. A lot of fighters do, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of fighters that don't. All right? And I said in my post, they're a bunch of cowards. And the reason why I say it is because they only like fighting in their own backyard, because it benefits them and they know they get that advantage. But me, I'll fight in everyone's backyard. I've taken losses in other people's backyards. I've won in other people's backyards. I'm at the top of the lightweight and the welterweight division right now. I literally, and not only that, I believe, and I really do believe, I'm actually one of the best strikers in Australia and the New Zealand region. One of the best. Did I say best or one of the best?
Well, you should say best.
I would say one of the best. I don't like to say I'm the best, because I know there's other people out there just as good as me. But 100% I'm one of the best strikers in fucking Australia and New Zealand. I have not been taken down in any of my fights since 2017. I have not been taken down since. I got taken down in UAE, but I got straight back up for about... I was taken down for like no less than 5 seconds. I got straight back to my feet. Prior to that, I haven't been taken down since 2017. It goes to show how good my takedown defense is, and how good I will show it in all my future fights, how good it will be. I will honestly pick every fucking person apart. I have a fight IQ. I am very smart. I see everything when I'm in that fucking cage. Do I deserve a UFC spot? 100% I do. And this is what I'm saying right now. And I guarantee you there won't be any other fighter that will sit in this chair and say the same fucking things that I'm saying right now. I work hard every day. I have a full-time job. I still train twice a day. You know, I got a program that I got to manage. Not just a full-time, not just like a labouring job. I'm a fucking program manager. I have to manage my whole team and then still train twice a day. Get that work in. Even in fight camp, I don't take any days off for rest and stuff. I'm not a fucking bitch. I'm not a pussy. I don't take time off. I'll go to work the next day sore, tired, brutalized. I'll put the hard work in and I'll still fucking go to training that next day. And I'll do that for 7 days a week, every fucking fight camp. I deserve a fucking UFC spot, 100%. And if I don't get it, I'm going to keep pushing for it. I'm sorry for my language to everyone listening, but the reason why I swear, because it's just who I am as a person. And I'm not like that in real life. All right. I'm actually a nice fucking person. I don't like swearing, especially when there's kids around. I don't swear in front of kids. But the reason why I'm swearing right now because I mean what I say, and it's in good intentions. Everything is in good good. How would you say it? Good intentions. Good intentions. That's what I mean. I'm saying it in good intentions.
You're honest, dude. That's what it is. You're honest. You're honest with yourself. You're honest with the people around you. And what you're feeling right now is essentially you pleading for the next opportunity in your career to progress and show the world what you are capable of and what you have been working on for the last however many years that you've been fighting now. And it only makes sense that you start swearing and spilling out, because that's what it is. It's honesty. And that's why I don't care if people swear on the show, because I just want you to be the honest, purest form of you. And UFC, Dana White, if this clip does make it to your desk, you better give my boy Josh Togo a fucking shot. UFC Perth, if he is not on that card, we riot. We riot. No one deserves it more than you, man. I fucking mean it. You are beyond what you just do as a fighter, what you do for your community, what you do for the people around you, the influence that you have over so many different lives is astounding, man. I mean, we've spoken about it on previous podcasts before, but the work that you do with the community, the work that you do in inspiring people, it goes so much beyond than just being a fighter. And, you know, your fighter is essentially your public identity, but there's so much more depth to you, man. And I hope people start giving you your fucking roses.
Yeah, fuck, hopefully. Now, look, I do what I love and I love what I do. It's simple as that. And I love working and I love training. I love fighting. It's just who I am as a person. I mean, I just enjoy what I love to do, really. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Speaking of UFC, there is by the time this comes out, which will be next Wednesday, we will know the results. But there is a I would say card of the year.
This weekend, sorry?
This weekend, we've got card of the year in some of the biggest fights in the world. I mean, we've got Islam Mackachev against Charles Oliveira with Volkanovski as a possible substitute. I mean, that's crazy to have the pound-for-pound number one as a possible substitute for a title fight. And then, of course, we've got Sugar Sean O'Malley going against Peter Yan. And we've also got Funkmaster against, who's got TJ Dillashaw? Has he got Dillashaw?
Yes, he does. So. Aljamain, he does.
Aljamain Sterling's up against TJ Dillashaw. I mean, fucking stacked card, to say the least. If you are an MMA fan right now, this is your Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
So, I would like to know your takes. What are your thoughts?
We're going to do some tips on here, right?
Yeah. Get my multi-stats, please.
Let's go fight by fight. Are we doing main card only?
Yeah, so we'll start with from bottom up. So we'll start Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan.
All right. Sean O'Malley, Peter Yan. All right. He's the underdog, but I'm going Sean O'Malley. The reason why I believe he will win is because overall he's the better fighter. I believe, this is in my head, I think overall he's a better fighter. He's got better stand-up. Peter Yan is quick and he sees a lot. He can read a lot of fighters, but I just think O'Malley takes the dub. I just think he's just more craftier with his strikes. He's got very brutal leg kicks, and I just think he wins unanimously. I don't think he'll finish Peter Yan, I just think he'll win on decision. Maybe he could, if he played it smart and he stick and move, I think he wins.
You have to give Sean O'Malley credit in that he's talked up this big game and he's had this hype machine built around him for so long. And this is like a real step up in competition. I mean, if he wins this fight against Peter Yan, then he's number one contender. He should be going up for the belt, essentially.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is it. Like, this is the how would you say it?
This is
the
where the
fight
rubber,
for the championship fight,
this
right?
is where the rubber meets the road. This is when we find out what is Sugar Sean O'Malley really made out of.
That's it. Like, so, I mean, I think he will go into this fight wanting it. He'll want it more. I mean, Peter will want it more too. Like, he'll want it just as bad as O'Malley. But I just think overall, as a fighter, O'Malley has more tools to his arsenal.
I think a lot of people will go on to say, though, that Sugar Sean O'Malley is not disciplined, that he's too much of a fuck up, that he drinks and parties. And
does he?
It's pretty wild.
I just thought he smokes weed. That was it.
No, he gets pretty wild. I know he hangs out with the Paul Bros a lot, and he goes on these crazy benders with the Nelk Boys, and he definitely has a life outside of fighting as well. And it would be interesting to see if that affects at all his gas tank, if that affects at all his ability to push through. I mean, it hasn't occurred yet, but I think very similar to what we see in Paddy Pimblett. What we see in Paddy Pimblett is like you're kind of setting yourself up for a short career.
Yeah.
With behavior like that. And I think Peter Yan right now has a lot more to lose, because if he loses this fight against Sean O'Malley, his name kind of falls out of the mixer, which is crazy when literally 2 fights ago we were saying this guy deserves to be the champion. It shouldn't be Aljamain Sterling. It should definitely be Peter Yan.
Well, that's it. I mean, and Yan got exposed in his last fight with his ground game, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I know O'Malley has a very slick ground game too.
I don't think it goes to the ground.
I don't think so too. I just think it'll stay standing up, and I just think O'Malley has the tools to just pick Yan apart. And I think he does it for 3 rounds.
Nice. Okay. Fight 2, we've got TJ Dillashaw up against Aljamain Sterling, the human backpack.
Look, I don't know. Like, I won't look past Aljamain. I think that he will take this. He wins the fight. I don't know how he wins, but I'm going Aljamain. Mm-hmm. I feel like Dillashaw's time's up. I think like he might come back. He might impress everyone. He might win fashionably. Who knows? But I just think Aljamain he's kind of got the whole sort of package. He's got a decent, he's got a good stand up. He's got a very good ground game. If he gets the fight to the ground, I think he subs him. Yeah. But yeah, I don't see Aljamain losing.
I think Aljamain's having his moment right now. I think Aljamain, like, there's just periods in a fighter's career where they just shine. Like, you see that with Izzy, you see that with Volk, you see that with Khamzat and Islam, and like fighters just go through these periods of time where you really do see the best of them. And I think if you take out all the controversy and you take out all the press that's been built around Aljamain Sterling, especially the way he did win the belt in the first place, if you take that aside, you have to respect the skill and you have to respect what he's physically capable of doing. And 100%. The reality is there's no one that you'd want to have on your back least than Aljamain Sterling.
And he's coming off that championship win too. Yeah. I mean, he's coming off a win, and he's going to be riding into this fight with a lot of confidence. Yeah. So and he knows that I think he'll win. I just know, I'm not gonna I'll back him 100%. I think he's gonna do it pretty convincingly.
So we're doing Sean O'Malley, we're doing Aljamain Sterling. What about the big one?
Fuck, I can't remember who is the main fighter. That's right, Oliveira.
Islam Mackachev and Charles Oliveira. For the belts, mind you. All right. The dethroned Charles Oliveira.
So once again, I'm going for the underdog. I hate using those terms, but I am going for Oliveira. I just believe he wins.
I don't think Oliveira's the underdog.
He is.
Is he?
Yeah. I already checked on sports bet and all that stuff.
Is Oliveira the underdog?
Yeah.
Wow.
Underdog. So, and he's not like massive underdog, but he's under. I don't know. He's paying like $2.50 or something, $2.60.
Yeah.
That's still pretty big odds. I'm thinking, fuck, like there's some good odds to take. I mean, the guy he's I don't know his record off by heart, but he's coming in like how
Charles
many wins?
Oliveira?
Yeah, how many wins has he had in his last 10, 11 fights? He's like 11-1 or something like that.
No, I think he's more. I think he's won like...
And they're all finishes in his last 12 fights.
He's won 19 fights and submitted in the last 16 of them. He's won by some...
So he's on a what, 19
16.
fight win streak?
Dude.
19 fights.
19
Fuck,
fights.
Bruh, that's... I haven't even fucking...
So what do you
thought that
think?
long.
And then
But
Islam Mackachev is coming in with crazy momentum. He's been kind of ignored by the UFC for a very long time. So there's definitely a thorn on his side. He's definitely got a lot to prove.
I just think Oliveira wins because his stand-up has gotten better
Yes, definitely.
over time, and his stand-up's only improving every fight he goes into. His ground, we all seen what he's like in his jits. Like, he's very slick. He's got all these mad submissions. He just knows what to do. I just don't think this fight goes to the ground. Every time I watch two ground game specialists, they always seem to stand and bang.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe Islam he'll be fighting under pressure and he'll have to resort to one thing. He'll probably shoot to take him down. He's going to have heavy wrestling, but I just think Oliveira fights his way out of it. I said this the other day. I reckon Islam starts to gas later on in the rounds, and I think Oliveira subs him in the fourth round.
Wow.
I'm calling it.
They're calling it fourth round
sub.
and everything.
I just think he's just overall the better fighter.
I think there's a risk with Islam in that. Look, I love the guy. I have so much respect for him, but I think his striking definitely isn't as good as Oliveira's. So he's going to be tempted to take it to the ground. And I think against any other opponent on any roster in any organization in the world, Islam Mackachev on top of you is the worst position that you could be in, because he's just vicious, he's brutal, he's a crazy wrestler. He's trained by Khabib. I mean, this guy is unstoppable on the ground, but you've got the slickness and the danger of Charles Oliveira on his back. It's like the worst position for you to have him. It's just you don't want Charles Oliveira on the ground. That's it, full stop, no negotiating. You don't want him on the ground.
That's what I'm saying. I just believe this fight stays standing. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. And look, it probably will go to the ground, but when it's just two ground game guys, they never seem, because he knows that Islam knows that if he takes him down, there's a chance of him getting subbed.
Yeah.
Oliveira will probably know that if he gets taken down, there's a chance of him holding him down because of his strong wrestling.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, maybe they'll just stand and bang.
Yeah.
And then I think if they stand and bang, Oliveira has a better striking, and then they'll put Islam under the pressure where he'll go like, I have to shoot, otherwise I'm just going to get picked apart. And I feel like if he shoots, Oliveira will either defend or he gets taken down, and then Oliveira ends up getting his back and subbing him. I don't know why. I'm just sticking to that.
As much as I'm excited for this fight and I want it to happen, I hope someone pulls out, because I just want to see Volk go for champ.
Well, who do you think is going to win?
Okay. Look, for reasons we've discussed already at detail and hopefully not losing the viewers' attention, I think my fastest picks would probably be Sugar Sean O'Malley. I'm going to go... Aljamain's a tough one. I'm going to go TJ Dillashaw. I'm gonna put my money on the underdog and then Islam. Yeah.
Fuck.
Those are my three picks.
It's hard.
It could go any way.
That's right.
It's really who rocks up on the moment.
That's it. It's MMA as a sport. Anything could happen.
How do you deal with the pressure of the event of the moment? Like, how are you sleeping the night before?
Oh, mate, I'll be honest with you, I don't get the best sleeps.
You know?
Nah, but it's hard. I don't know how everyone other fighter goes, but me personally, I don't get the best sleeps. But I just try and think about a lot of the good from the bad, and just try and think about a lot of positives.
Have you tried anything like CBD or anything like that?
I feel like that shit doesn't help.
Really?
Nah, it probably helps like outside of fight camp, or if you're just taking it, going to bed and all that stuff. It definitely probably helps, but
Have you
I
tried
don't
it
know.
before
I've
or
tried
no?
it before
Yeah.
a fight and the night before, and it didn't do anything for me.
Didn't
So I was like, oh, this shit fucking doesn't work.
I'll hook you up because the stuff I've got right now, man, is
If you got anything that can conk me out, fuck, please give it to me,
yeah,
because I would love anything to have before a fight.
yeah. I've got
Or the night before a fight.
I've got some hempcan CBD, and these guys are like as legit as it comes. Like, it just, I find for me personally, it just reduces my anxiety, it reduces my stress, it reduces so much of that like energy, and it saves me so many times, man. Like, I spend an ungodly amount of hours behind a computer screen. I spend an ungodly amount of times editing, so I'm just getting blue light all day. And it's horrible, and it fucks up my sleep patterns. And, you know, I have like 3 Red Bulls and 17 shots of coffee and
Yeah.
to kind of stimulate me throughout the day. So trying to go to sleep is the worst. I have like 2 drops of this CBD and it just knocks me out.
I've tried to look for a lot of things. Even melatonin.
Yeah.
That shit didn't help me.
Yeah. I mean, look, and these guys are
CBD.
probably good for out of recovery stuff as well, like out of camp stuff as well, rather. They, like, in terms of muscle recovery and stuff, I know there's a lot of studies around it. I can hook you up. I'll get you some.
Yeah, please. I'll fucking take whatever
I don't
can
have any
get.
here
Whatever
with
can
me
knock
right
me out,
now.
I'll take.
Yeah.
But even like my last fight, I think I was riding on 4 hours sleep.
Yeah. That's a big problem,
That's-
man.
yeah.
The recovery side of fighting is so important.
But that's me, so I can imagine how other fighters feel too.
Yeah.
So that's what goes through my mind. As much as I'm tired, he's just as tired.
Yeah.
As much as I didn't get sleep, he probably didn't get sleep either.
Yeah.
Things like that. So that's just me being optimistic in some sort of way. So
Yeah.
but yeah, please, whatever you got, give it to me.
Yeah, I mean-
I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah. Gummies, vapes, oils, they've got it all.
Yeah,
I'll get some
mad.
for you.
Please.
Yeah,
That's
100%. All right. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to touch on, and we are well and truly over time.
Yeah.
But I really want to thank you for coming out, man. I really want to thank you for, you know, bringing light to the talent pool that is Australian top team and representing in the best way possible. I know they've been getting some slack online lately, so it's always good to see someone represent it to the full of their capacity, man. And I just want to say from like the bottom of my heart, like, I'm proud of you and I'm really happy for you, and I'm
Thanks,
excited
man.
to see you on. I'm excited to see you on UFC Perth.
Fuck, let's hopefully get there first. That's the next step. Just gonna keep pushing, gonna keep working for it, and hopefully we get that shot. But yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure to be on the show again.
Absolutely. If people want to follow you, if they want to support you, if they want to tune in to what you've got going on in the world, how can they do so?
Instagram, Josh Tooks, Josh TWKS, TikTok. I've finally got TikTok. It's taken me a couple of months, but you know what? I'm starting to get the hang of it. It's actually all right.
It's all right.
Gorilla_warfare_ATT. And yeah, they're my only 2 socials that I got going.
Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Lucas Podcast. If you haven't done so already, I mean, what the fuck are you doing? You haven't hit the subscribe button. Your life's just horrible. It's a complete misery. Like, you just need to do it. You just need to hit the subscribe button.